Hello guys, this is Bookwalker Thief of Tales. The game takes place in an alternate reality. The protagonist, writer Etienne Quist, committed an unthinkable crime, because of which his books were taken off the market, and he himself was sentenced to 30 years in a published house with minimal or no salary. The protagonist doesn't want to put up with such a sentence, and therefore, when he receives an offer to do not entirely legal work in exchange to get rid of the writer's handcuffs, he quickly agrees. It's not a dusty business to penetrate book worlds and pull out some artifacts from there into the real world. Thor's hammer, a magic wand, a weather control device, and so on. Each item is stored in its own book, and therefore Etienne will have to visit several completely different universes. From the School of Magic and Magic the spaceship that carries humanity to new worlds. Plunging into the book, the hero doesn't know what awaits him there, nor the rules by which he lives. Roderick, a character whom Etienne meets shortly after the beginning of the adventure, helps him to understand at least partly what is happening. He doesn't remember who he is and from what work, but he can flip through the plot of the book in which the characters are. Roderick can be contacted when a teen needs advice on what to do next, and he acts as a sort of moral compass. Also, the final decision is up to the player. Since Etienne and his companion travel through different books, the sensory in them is radically different. A snow-covered factory is replaced by a city in the middle of the desert, and school corridors are replaced by the halls of an old mansion. Each adventure takes no more than an hour of time, but captured due to the high destiny of events. To complete the task, the protagonist must use all available means. First of all, understand that it generally needs to be done in order to obtain the desired item. Then chat with the characters in the book, collect resources and items that can be useful to him. On the workbench you can craft tools, crowbar, master key, wire cutters. They will be needed to open boxes and locks. In fact, most of the gameplay of the Bookwalker Thief of Tales consists of exploring locations and using items in suitable places. For this is such a simple quest in which the passage of puzzles lies on the surface without distracting the player from a fascinating story. In the course of communication with the NPC, you can choose different lines. Also, what happens here is predetermined. Sometimes the choice affects the development of the plot, and the hero can literally rewrite the book with his actions. Etienne's profession adds spice to the story. The hero often faces a dilemma, whether to consider the characters as individuals or treat them as another tool to achieve the goal, deceive, betray, and use. A couple of times the game sets very difficult forks, where both solutions turn out to be obviously bad. Sometimes it is impossible to achieve what you want without the use of force. And then the combat skills of the protagonist come into play. The combat in the Bookwalker Thief of Tales is quite simple. The player has several abilities available, such as a normal strike, a stand attack, and key drain. The battles are turn-based. Ordinary opponents and bosses don't pose a serious challenge, and a gamer who knows at least a little about tactics will never be defeated. As good as the game is, it's not without flaws. First of all, the adventure is rather fleeting and ends quickly, and this is exactly the case when you want to stay in the game world a long time. Secondary, control with the gamepad is not very convenient. The hero doesn't always correctly point at active objects, which is why he has to stomp around the point of the interest for a long time in an attempt to interact with it. Yes, and the picture is too small. And even the zoom option doesn't allow you to consider the details of the environment. However, there are details compared to how exciting and in a good literally way, without unnecessary graphomania. The Bookwalker Thief of Tales turned out to be. If you like games with a good story, play it. You won't regret it.